You're listening to Potty Mouth Radio, the home of movies, music, television, and comedy. This podcast is filmed in front of a live studio audience and contains coarse language. Could it be any more spoilery about a 25-year-old sitcom? Hello everybody and welcome back to The One Where We Watched, where this week the one we watched is the one with George Stephanopoulos.
Oh, the little guy. I love him.
This is a great episode.
It is. I love that the girls spend time with the girls and the boys spend time with the boys.
Yes, this episode does one of my favourite things that a Friends episode does, which is where it all takes place at the one time period and just cuts back and forth between the different groups.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's one of my favourite things.
Okay.
So this episode is the third episode of Friends. It aired on October 13th, 1994, and it was written by Alexa Jung. She also worked on Sex and the City, The West Wing, Once and Again, and Big Love.
Yeah.
Oh, and she also worked as a writer on Clarissa Explains It All. What a champion.
Yeah, I feel like I recognised her name.
So she wrote several episodes of Friends up until season 5.
The good seasons. They're all good. Some are better than others.
As I said, this episode does one of my favourite things. This is the first time it happens in Friends where we have the cutting back and forth. And of the 4 episodes we've watched already, this is my favourite.
Mm-hmm. I love the opening in this one.
Yeah. Fun fact for you, despite his name being in the title, George Stephanopoulos does not appear in the episode. So it's the one with George Stephanopoulos without George Stephanopoulos.
Yeah, well, I don't think they could get him. Maybe at the height of Friends they could have gotten him. Like any political person would have been like, get me on that show.
Yeah.
But this is the 4th episode. They didn't even know if they were going to be continued at this point. Like,
yeah, true.
So them referencing political people at the time, like, I like that it really sets it in the time that it's set in. That was well worded. I've had too many martinis.
You've had a lot of martinis. Do you remember whose turn it is to do Friends in 30 seconds? I'm pretty sure it's your turn.
Okay.
Are you ready?
No.
Well, too bad, baby.
Fuck.
Are you ready?
No.
On your marks.
Oh my God.
Get set. Go.
Okay, it starts with the opening dialogue, which is one of my favourite. They're all discussing what would you do if you were omnipotent for a day. Joey doesn't understand it. He thinks Ross is saying, I'm impotent. I just think that's really cute. And of course, okay. And then Phoebe is sleepy because she's being kept up all night by her grandma having wild sex with her boyfriend. So she needs to sleep over at the girls' house, which leads into the girls having like a slumber party and the boys going out to celebrate or try and distract Ross from his fuckversary with Carol.
Time is up.
I did it. That's it.
Okay, I guess you did do it. You did it. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
So
it's one of my greatest achievements in life.
All right, well, let's jump into it then. So as you said, the cold open. I cannot believe it. Boggles my mind that this cold open is episode 4. I think of this cold open as being so iconic. Like this to me is one of the most, it's one of the most memorable Friends cold opens to me.
Yeah.
I cannot believe it was this early into the show.
I remember understanding the joke of I'm impotent, omnipotent, but I didn't understand what omnipotent was. So I had to ask my parents. So you understood
what impotency was, but not what omnipotent.
I was basically Joey. And my favourite part of the scene, take a guess.
Well, my favourite, the line I've written down is there's always one, I'll have 3 more wishes.
I'll have 3 more wishes. Rachel saying that is another example of how dated the show is. People don't impersonate someone like that anymore. I don't know, the way she says it, I
do it all the time. And then my favourite thing...
You are a millennial.
My favourite thing is to impersonate you in a really mocking voice and then look at you and go, that's you.
That's you, which is from another show.
Yes.
We are sad millennials. Anyway, my favourite is, obviously, apart from Joey being like, I'm sorry, is Phoebe. You know, she wants bigger boobs, but she wants good things for the rainforest. She's like, she she acknowledges that, hey, I'm not perfect. I've got some body issues. I want bigger boobs. But then she's still like, I want good things for planet Earth. I love her so much.
Yeah. Yep.
You just don't care. By the end, you will love Phoebe as much as me.
But I really enjoy that cold open. I find
Me too.
it's very well written. It's very funny.
Yeah, me too. I remember watching as a kid. I remember watching it again as a young adult and being like, oh, I remember this one. And every time I watch it now, I quote it as we go.
Yeah.
Did you notice the sign on Central Perk?
No, I didn't. Is it there now?
It's there now, and it's wrong, but like it's not a bare window anymore. So they've added to the set as they've gone on, even 4 episodes in, which I just think is super cute.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, so then the show proper starts, and we're still in the coffee shop. Phoebe is very, very tired because her grandmother has been keeping her up all night.
Yes, and do you notice her here in this scene? She tries not to laugh as she says something.
Yeah.
Like classic Lisa Kudrow, she does that throughout the entire series, and she doesn't mask it very well, and it makes me love her even more.
Yeah. And then Chandler and Joey come in, and I love the way they chant, hockey, hockey, hockey.
Yeah. It's a bit like you with sports ball. Like they've been told, this is what we have to do. We have to chant about hockey. I don't know if either of them in real life are into hockey. They're supposed to be because they're New Yorkers.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It just screams incompetent sports fans.
Yeah. And, okay, we've spoken in previous episodes
This is the
about
culmination.
Monica and Ross's relationship
Yes.
being odd. They offer Ross tickets to the game because they think it's his birthday, which it's not.
It's 7 months ago, so we should track the
Continuity, yeah.
Yes, always wrong.
So he looks at the ticket, though. He sees the date and he gets depressed, as is Ross's want. He's always depressed.
Yeah.
And Monica
Is
is the
today
one.
the 20th?
Yeah. And Monica is the one who goes, I was hoping you wouldn't notice.
What the fuck?
Why does she know her brother's fuckversary?
Yeah, that's fucking weird.
Yeah.
Like, could we relate it back to it being their wedding anniversary? Sure, maybe.
Yeah.
Like, that's reasonable that she would know that. I assume she was, involved.
Yeah.
It's not. It's not. They didn't wait until marriage that we know of. It's their fuckversary. And then later we find out his virginversary.
Yes.
Well, like the cherry.
He's cherry popping.
He's cherry popping.
He was listening to the Cherry Poppin' Daddies singing Zoot Suit Riot.
Oh, no.
He probably was at this time.
That song is fucked.
No, it's a great song. Zoot Suit Riot. Riot!
How can I convince you never to do that again? Yeah. Why does she know that?
Yeah.
It's fucking weird.
Yeah. But it does lead to one of my favorite lines in the episode when Ross says, "No, I'm not going to go to the hockey. I'll just go home and think about my ex-wife and her lesbian lover." And Joey, it's the one time Joey's sexist pig lines is actually funny.
Yeah.
When he comes in with, "Hell to hockey, let's all do that."
Let's all do that. I know. So funny.
It genuinely makes me laugh so hard. When it comes
I mean,
back
it's
to
gross, but I don't know. We're all adults. We can laugh about it and be like, obviously, we wouldn't be friends with someone who said that. And then, of course, we get a little bit more development on Rachel. She gets
her first paycheck.
Yeah, which is a big moment. I remember my first paycheck. Do you?
Oh, yes, I do. Well, okay, what do you mean by first paycheck? I remember, like, my first, teenage job when I was working at the video store.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and that was awesome because you got paid in cash. So it was really good.
Yeah.
You'd come into the shop and there would be envelopes for each staff member. And you'd open it up and you'd have your cash in there. And I remember the first time I got $100 note.
Whoa, whoa.
Okay, it's not like I was earning a lot. Like, that was probably all that was in there.
No, that was a week's worth of work.
Yeah, oh, yeah. But I remember that was the first time I'd ever held $100 note. Because they're pretty damn rare, to be honest.
Yes.
Like, even now as an adult, you don't see $100 notes very often.
Yes, and
I felt so
in America,
fucking
everything's
Oprah-rich.
green, but here in
Yeah,
Australia,
only-
the $100 note is green, and so
It's
you
the only
just
thing that feels
feel
like real money in some ways.
No, everything feels like real money, but when you hold it, but I don't know, there's something about, I don't know, this is really showing our millennial upbringing. Like, we grew up with The Simpsons and Friends. It's that pop culture money being green and meaning something. We're digressing. Rachel gets her first paycheck.
Yeah.
And she's like, this biker guy took all my money. And I assume, being a waitress, she gets no healthcare?
Yeah, and
I
I don't know the way it works. I've never been a waitress in the States, shockingly.
It is weird that you haven't done that.
I know that most of their income comes from tips.
Well, we heard that. Like,
Is it
we,
the same
we
in
knew
coffee
that.
shops? Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just all service industry.
Yeah.
Don't you remember when we went there? So we did a 7-week road trip for our honeymoon around the States, and it was such a good trip.
Yeah.
Until I fell pregnant and vomited my way through the States. But we tried to make sure we tipped really well everywhere we went, because we just couldn't believe, like, you know, Australians, like, the fact that we could take 7 weeks of leave and
they
do
were shocked
that.
about
Like,
that.
they were shocked. And every time we mentioned it was our honeymoon, they would give us a free dessert, or they'd organise something. Like, the service over there is impeccable. Whereas here in Australia, you're like, please serve me. I'm so sorry to bother you. Could I get a coffee?
Yeah.
And they're like, fuck you. You'll get it when you get it. And you're like, okay, I hope you're paid well. Good luck with your life. So, yeah, Rachel getting this is just like, it's indicative of just being young and earning fuck all.
Yeah.
I remember being a waitress. I was a waitress many times in my youth. And I, dropped a teapot or something, and that was taken out of my pay.
Yeah,
like,
right.
I was on $7 an hour, and that $4 for the teapot, as if it was $4 fucking. Like, these people got everything like cheap because they bought it in bulk and, like wholesale price. And they deducted $4 for this teapot from my wage. I was like, piss off.
Oh, yeah. Small business owners are stingy. Back to when I was at the video shop.
No, they're not all
I remember them making one of the girls who worked there go back on training wages of like $6 an hour, even though she'd been there for like a year. They were like, she made one mistake. And they were like, no, you're back on training wages.
Yeah, because they're just so excited to put you back.
Yeah.
Not all small businesses are like that.
So anyway, while Rachel's all depressed about her paycheck, some of her old friends come in.
Yes.
And they are so not her friends. They are only there to mock her.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I mean, I think that's kind of...
Like, your mother told us you were working here, and it's true.
Yeah, and well, your mother didn't tell us about the blobbies.
Yeah.
Like, we are supposed to think they're stupid, and that is pushed further by Phoebe and Monica being like, I have elbows.
Yeah.
Do you feel like, I don't know, this is just me, those 4 women who come in somehow, to me, represent the Sex and the City women?
Really?
There's a redheaded lawyer. There's one who's pregnant and she's making it her entire identity. Like,
is that Charlotte?
Yeah. I don't know. There's just, I don't know. Sex and the City hasn't even started yet at this point, but I was just like, that's where they got the idea. That's where they got the idea.
Fucking Sarah Jessica thief.
No, but I don't know. I could pick them.
Yeah.
There was a Miranda. There was a Charlotte.
I feel like this whole scene is a little bit mean.
Mean?
Yeah, I think it's...
Oh, making fun of these women.
Yeah, I think that even Phoebe and Monica, I think it comes off a little bit cruel for their characters.
100%. Like, these days, women try not to do that to each other.
Yeah.
They try not to mock them. Okay, so you're super into this kind of vapid thing that the rest of us don't care about. But if that's what you're into, good for you, sister.
You do you. You don't want to yuck anyone's yum.
Yeah. What?
That's a saying. I don't want to yuck your yum.
Oh, mate.
Like, you find yummy what you find yummy. I'm not going to yuck it. You don't know that saying?
I think you're really showing your age, mate.
All right, so then we get one of my favourite scenes of the episode where the guys are walking to the game.
Oh, and they're outside, and it's weird.
No.
Friends outside is weird.
I thought this was okay. I felt like this was still a set.
Probably, but I always see them inside. Like, yeah, they're still shot at sort of the same angle, but it doesn't feel like it's in front of a studio audience, and I feel sad.
But Ross this is my favourite depressed Ross when everything is reminding.
You know what my note is? Ross worst. He's so annoying.
No, this is genuinely funny when he's like, the bus stop.
No, it's not funny. It's pathetic.
Peach pit, and it wasn't even a peach. A nectarine.
We had nectarines, but like he's about to say stone fruit. No, the best line is Joey being like, hey, that woman's got an ass like Carol's.
I was just going to say, again, a sexist line from Joey that lands.
Yeah.
This episode is peak sleazy Joey.
You know, it doesn't land. It's gross. But you know what does land? What? I thought we were spotting stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
He's so stupid. But the way Ross is going on about it, it does seem like that. Like we're just picking things from that night. Carol wore boots like this. Well,
Yeah.
she kept them on. It was kind of like, shut up. Stop sharing these intimate details, firstly, with your yobbo dickhead friends. Yobbo is an Australian term. And secondly, like, I don't want to say get over it, because obviously his marriage has dissolved. He's potentially having a child with this woman who has moved on. I don't for a second believe he's not going through a significant life change, especially like, I mean, those sorts of things are hard anytime, but you know, in your early 20s when you thought your life was mapped out and suddenly it's all fresh again. I feel for him, but fuck me, mate, stop sharing it with your everyone. It's weird.
Yeah.
Like, journal, go to therapy. Oh, Jesus.
So then from this point in the episode is when it starts to do my favorite thing ever, and we cut back and forth. So we go to Monica's apartment to start with, where the girls are starting to have their slumber party, and Monica has made margaritas.
Yeah, yeah.
And I love when Rachel just grabs the entire jug.
And puts a straw
Well, it's
in it.
rum.
Yeah, she's like, it's got rum, and then she just grabs it.
Yeah.
We've all been there.
And it's so much fun because it just reminds me of slumber parties. Because we're too old.
Parties.
No, it does. It makes you think of old school slumber. Do you remember when you last had a slumber party? We're too old now. We don't have them anymore.
No, we've got... I mean, sometimes I'll have a slumber party with our girls, our daughters.
Yeah.
Like when you go away for work.
Yeah, but you don't have margaritas.
Oh, nah. I mean... maybe at night when they've gone to bed by myself.
Like slumber parties used to be the best. Like from ages.
Do you remember that big one in college?
19. Oh yeah,
where
you
spoiled
ruined
the movie
for everybody.
I was like, oh, this is the one where it's the boy, and everyone was like, fuck's sake.
Yeah.
I thought everyone had seen it.
But no, they were the best. And Phoebe, once again being MVP, there is nothing cuter when she's like, I brought Operation.
Yeah.
It's missing the tweezers, but we can prep the guy.
We can prep the guy.
It is
like
so
the fact
adorable.
that she still grabbed it because she's just having fun with her friends. I love her so much.
Yeah.
And okay, so Rachel's friend judged her, and you know, Rachel sort of sits there like, what am I doing with my life? So she's received her paycheck. Her friends have judged her.
Yeah.
Now she's gone back upstairs with her two new besties who are going to support her through life. They're going to help her transition into being an independent person. But she brings them down to her level.
Yes.
And I love that.
All end up depressed.
When she brings them down to her level and she says, let's play Twister. And she just is like trying not to cry. Oh, I love that so much because we have all been there where you're just like, okay, let's do this thing. And you're trying to be fun. You're trying not to lose your shit. But you're like, let's play Twister. And you're just, oh my God. I used to love that game.
Yeah.
I was so flexible. Monica ends up depressed because Monica does need a plan in life.
Yeah.
Phoebe kind of ends up depressed, but like not really. You can tell she's just like
having fun with it. Like it's another game to her.
Yeah, because Phoebe just goes where the wind takes her, and I love that about her.
Yeah.
Yep.
Unlike Ross, because then we got back to the hockey, and again, another fantastic depressed Ross line. When they're about to sit down and he gets all upset and Chandler loses it at him. He's like, what is it? There was ice that night. There were, 12 dozen toothless men.
Yeah.
And he's, well, actually,
I don't think we're sitting together.
It was the first frost.
It was the first frost. Fucking hell. Nothing makes me want to slap him and say, snap out of it more.
Yeah.
But I love that Chandler is also with me.
Yeah.
So at least they're writing him knowing he's being obnoxious.
So then we're back at the apartment, and this is the scene where we start a runner that continues for the rest of the episode that you and I consistently mock. And at this point, it's not too bad. This is where it starts with the magic beans.
Yes.
And Phoebe tells Rachel, you're just like Jack and the Beanstalk. You live in the village. He lived in our village.
You live in the village.
Yeah.
It's so typical of, I don't know, maybe it's just I don't know, maybe every generation does this. I feel like millennials really do this with star signs as well. Like, see, you live in the village. Like, we are
we try to make sense
we are
of it.
clutching at straws here. But then we still get Phoebe where she's like, oh, I don't have a cow, and blah, blah. And she's like, well, Jack really loved the cow. Like, let's not forget for a second that Jack actually loved his cow and had to give it up.
Yeah.
And I gave up a cow. Barry, I gave up an orthodontist.
Yeah.
With a receding hairline, whatever. But I do like the, what if it doesn't work out? Nobody likes that question. It's very relatable, no matter what point of life you're at.
Yeah.
What if this thing that I'm working towards doesn't work out? Or what if this thing that I'm struggling with doesn't work out?
Yeah.
Fuck me. I live in the pessimistic state of, okay, well, it's probably not going to work out, so plan for X, Y, Z.
It's super relatable. And again, that's why here we are on episode 4, and already you can tell why this show lasted for 10 years. 100%. And there are so many sitcoms that get canned after one season, and rewatching, I know why this didn't.
Yeah. It's relatable. Everyone has either been at that point in their lives or is heading into it or doing it.
Yeah.
Did you notice, though, iconic moment, Floopy. First Floopy.
Yes.
And everything's just floopy. Lisa Kudrow herself has said, like, what? No one says floopy. Grow up.
Oh, man, it's the same fucking...
it's so true, though.
There's this great story about when Jason Mewes first read the script for Clerks, and which, the part was written for him, based on him, and he read it and he goes, what the fuck is schnoogans? Who talks like that? That's fucking baby talk. And Kevin Smith looked at him and goes... You do. Yeah. Have you looked in a mirror? It's those sorts of things where you're like, sometimes you watch old family videos or, Facebook memories. That's the new family videos. Facebook memories come up and you're like, what the fuck was I saying? Shut up. Yeah.
Nobody says floopy. Nobody cares what you had for breakfast. Get on with your life.
You should imagine, and you'll get to this point eventually. Imagine when you've got 7 years of podcasts out there on the internet, and you're like, "Wow, I once gave Justice League a 7 out of 10."
And
I was
constantly remind
idiot.
you. People bring it up. Yeah.
Yep.
Let's
all
not
the time.
Forget Tommy Boy.
Oh, even like the B Dizzle. That started with people making fun of me because once we had to record over Discord, and my nickname there is the B Dizzle, and it kind of stuck in the podcast land. And
you've had the B Dizzle for so long.
I know I have, but not publicly.
Oh yeah. Hang on, let's pause for a sec. You have had it publicly. What about Reddit?
Yeah, let's not dig into Reddit at this point. Then we're back at the game, and Ross is finally getting into it. He's happy. He's loving it. He's watching people get beat up, and that is the joy of hockey.
Okay. Do you have something to say specifically on that scene?
Are you wanting to bring up when we went to a hockey game in the States?
Oh, no, I wasn't. Sorry. You do that first.
No, you go. I don't know.
I know what you're referring to, though. When we went to the hockey in the States, we were like, this is great. We're finally going to experience like a real ice hockey game because it's a very niche crowd in Australia because, it's hot all the time. And we were like, wow, people get really into it.
And there was like this 10-year-old kid who just kept screaming.
He was 6. Yeah. He was so young. And he was like, go home, healer. You suck. And we were like, whoa. Oh my God. Imagine if our daughters said that. I mean, we didn't have daughters at the time, but...
Dude, it was so good.
It was so funny. Anyway, and yeah, there was blood. It was great. No. Ross saying, pass it. What
sounded like pivot to you?
Yes. It pays homage, and it doesn't know it does. It pays homage to pivot.
It's a reverse homage.
It's a reverse homage. And here is the thing. Like, this is the joy of Friends. If you know pivot, like, you've lived, because that's the funniest thing that's ever happened. And then you go back to pass it, and you just know there's joy coming.
Yeah.
This is the joy of Friends.
It is joyful. Not for Ross, though, because he gets a puck right in the face.
God, hey, just before we talk about the puck right in the face, though, because firstly, can that happen? I don't think it can.
I think it could in the 90s. I don't think they had the nets and perspex back then.
Sure,
I think
what? Of
no,
course they did.
I'm dead serious. I don't think
No,
they
you need
did.
to look that up.
Right now?
Yes, you need to look that up. While I talk about, did you find the cutting to the B-roll of the hockey game very jarring? Perhaps when we watched it on square TV screens that were tiny, we didn't notice the difference, but now in high definition widescreen, cutting to that B-roll of the hockey game is very jarring. Did you find that? Or are you just kind of like accepting of it?
Look, I'm accepting of it, but it does look awful.
It looks terrible.
Like, especially, I think, because, we are watching this in beautiful high definition, but
in our theatre.
But they can't upscale old SD footage from television, which is what that is.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Also, there is an article from 2002 where a flying puck killed a spectator.
Oh my God.
Oh man, I don't even want to tell you how old she was. So after
was she
that,
7?
no. And so after that, they doubled the height of the plexiglass. But so there you go. I fully believe that back in '93, Ross could have taken a puck to the face. So then we're at the hospital and we have the wonderful shitty nurse. She is so fantastic.
I love her. Every time I watch this episode, I wait for her. She has the best laugh.
Oh my God. The moment when, I can't even remember who it is, when one of them asks how long it will be and she goes, any minute now.
And she just laughs.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Maybe back then asking in the 90s, how long will it be, was a reasonable question. I can't tell if that's like, obviously the joke is that, you wait for a long time in the ER, especially if you look like Ross and you look fucking fine. But these days it is, I don't know, maybe this is just like place by place. It's all different, but you can wait for like days.
Oh, yeah. But you're right, though. For having had a puck to the face, which apparently can kill a person, he looks pretty fine.
Any Australian would have just walked that off.
Yeah.
Maybe put an ice pack on it when you get home. Maybe.
Or, I don't know. Well,
just gone to the pub.
We'd walk it off, but we would have yelled at the puck first. It's like when I stub my toe and I'm like, you motherfucker, to the brick on the ground that I hit
If
my
I
toe
hear
on.
you in another room called something like, fucking cunt, you'll come out and I'll be like, are you yelling at an inanimate object again? I know you're not yelling at our kids that aggressively. Like, you yell at them, but not like that. It's an inanimate object that has earned
Yes. Yeah.
the special C-bomb. Yeah, like at one point, he removes his sort of ice pack that he has. He's fine. He's like, I have a dent in my face. Where, Ross?
Yeah.
I don't know if the makeup department let us down or if Americans are just weak as piss, but like, come on, mate.
Yeah.
We would have just been like, I'll just go to the pub and I'll drink until I don't feel something. What?
Yeah.
Walk it off.
The best bit of that
Ross.
scene is Chandler, apart from the nurse, is Chandler referring to it as the predicament room instead of the emergency room.
Yeah. Chandler's really hitting his stride in these episodes, I feel like.
He is. I feel like we're finally starting to... That's why I like this episode where it all takes place at once and we're cutting back and forth. I feel like we get just about all 6 characters fairly equally in this episode.
Yeah, well, because we also get Joey just like bringing the puck to his face.
Oh, yeah.
Zooming in. And then he does it to Ross and Ross is like, get fucked.
Yeah. That's it. And like,
we all have that one friend.
And like, obviously Ross is the protagonist of that side of the story and Rachel is the protagonist of the other side. But you really do get all 6 pretty equally.
Yes.
Because then we cut back to the slumber party. They're all like fully depressed now.
Yes.
They've ordered the pizza.
Oh, the pizza! Oh my God, the reaction to the wrong. We ordered
a fat-free crust with extra cheese. Like the idea that like the low fat, it's like when people order a Diet Coke with a large meal from Macca's.
Yes,
it's like the diet's not helping, mate.
No.
Low fat crust is not helping you in this scenario.
But that is
it's so real.
Reminiscent of the diet culture of the 90s as well.
Yeah.
And obviously they're making a joke about it. Because the cheese is where the fun is in the pizza. Fuck off. Like, you want extra cheese.
You think the cheese is the fun part?
What do you think is the fun part?
The meat.
Ew.
There is nothing better than a pepperoni pizza where the pepperoni has gone so like caramelized-y and...
You sound like Sharon Horgan in Catastrophe. Brilliant show, by the way. Like, actually, truly brilliant. And she's like, I want oily pepperoni.
Yes.
Where it makes a little cup of oil.
Yes, that's the best bit of a pizza. That's
scene
the
is
joy
followed
of a
by
pizza.
Rob having an accent. It's actually deeply tragic.
That's
but anyway,
the joy of a pizza.
Yes.
And then
no, I'm all about the veg and then cheese.
no, yuck.
Maybe an anchovy.
But it turns out that their pizza has gone to George Snuffleupagus.
Phoebes, who is George Snuffleupagus?
He lives on Sesame Street.
Big Ben's friend.
I love how seriously Phoebe takes the question.
But she also laughs at Monica like, get a load of this girl. She doesn't know who Snuffleupagus is.
Yeah.
I love Phoebe so much. Hang on, sorry. Before that, you've skipped ahead too far.
I haven't. It's all the same scene.
No. But before that, when they're all in their funk, and she's like, oh, I'm sorry I brought you guys down. Like, it's fine. Like, do you have a plan? And Phoebe flicks back her glorious ponytail and she goes, I don't even have a pla.
Yeah.
That right there, I'm like, Phoebe, you are my idol. I want to be you.
Yeah.
Because not having a pla, let alone a plan, it's actually fine. It's fucking fine. Why can't I get this into my head? But also, Phoebe's hair is glorious in that scene.
When she flicks it back.
I play with my ponytail now because of that scene. I have done my whole life since I was 7 or 8 and watched it. Like her draping her ponytail over her face, like a little. It's literally like she's hiding from the world. It's just very well done.
Yeah.
How dated is the kid who delivers the pizza being like, oh, bonehead.
Yeah.
When's the last time you heard someone refer to themselves or anyone else as a bonehead?
I mean, that may be the worst written and worst acted character in the history of Friends.
No, but
oh my God. He is awful. He is abysmal.
He is. But the 90s of it all, I don't know. It makes me feel real nostalgic when people were like, bonehead. I don't know if any of us ever actually used the word bonehead, but 90s TV characters did, and I like that. And then, of course, we get the fact that, yes, it is George Stephanopoulos, not Snuffleupagus, who was just so beautiful. And she's like, oh, the little guy, I love him. And they head out to the balcony, all 3 of them, and they get their binoculars out, like it's a completely regular thing to do.
Yeah.
And they spy on him and his, partner, whatever, the female he's with that they're hoping is not his wife or girlfriend or whatever, takes the pizza, and Phoebe yells, "That's not for you, bitch!"
Yeah.
Like, we've all been that hangry. We've all been there. I love Phoebe so much, and she like covers her mouth immediately after, like she can't believe she was so rude.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd do that. And then we cut back, and this is my favorite, like Joey playing with the puck into his face like a baby spoon in the mouth, and then he does it to Ross, and Ross just wants to like fucking murder him. I love that. And we're like, excuse me, we've waited a while. It's like, I don't know, an hour, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Calm down, guys. Also, Ross, your face looks fine. Have you considered going home?
Yeah, I would at that point.
Well, he gets
100%.
like the silver nose brace and stuff. Whatever, mate. Just let it grow out.
Yeah, you're not the man in the iron mask, Ross. So then we're on the girls' balcony at the slumber
love
party.
the balcony scene.
You do?
Yes.
They are so horny. Like,
oh my God. Stop it. No, women can talk about sex.
I know they can. I think it's great. That's what I'm saying. They are so horny.
No, I mean, Monica being like, and then he's a proper animal. Like,
honestly, it's shocking. This was on network TV, and I'm saying that in a good way. Like this is like the female equivalent of them spying on the sorority girls in Animal House. Like they are.
No, well, so the part I hate with is drop the towel.
Yeah, that's horny stuff.
It is, because I'm like, do they want to see his butt or the front side?
We all know that the doodle is a magical part of the body.
Is it? It's kind of weird. But here's the thing. all that reminds me of is that one time we were watching So You Think You Can Dance.
Oh,
And
God. And my sister.
Your sister we were talking about how hot one of the dancers was, and she was like, imagine his penis.
God.
And the rest of us were like, no, you don't want to do that. Like when I picture hot guys, I'm thinking like their chest, their arms, like their hair, their abs.
I notice you're saying there a lot and not your.
No, like when we talk about like celebrities and
Yeah, okay.
Oh, shut up.
I find the most erotic part of a woman is the boobies.
What is that from again?
Futurama.
Futurama. Oh my god. Yeah, just jumping across all kinds of shows. Focus. Okay.
All right. Because
Okay.
then we're at the hospital, and
Again,
this is my favorite Chandler line.
The moon.
What-
The glow.
Yes, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Do you have it written
I
down?
have written
the
it down.
magical feeling.
Yes. What was it? Okay. I don't know. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but is this weird that him being like, it was my first time? What? And they move closer. It was my first time. Like, so he popped his cherry with Carol.
Yeah.
It was his first time in general.
Yeah.
Is this... I don't see how that changes their reactions. I would still be like, the moon, the glow, fucking get over it. I don't know.
I
don't
think,
get it.
No, because I think what they are coming to understand is that Ross has only ever been with Carol. Which means that not only was this the anniversary of his first time with Carol, it was the anniversary of his first time ever, and also he has not ever had sex with anybody else. Which again, I think it's kind of weird that they're reacting this way.
Yes.
But
and then Joey of all people is like, oh, there's a million things we could have done instead of hockey. Like hockey wasn't the answer to tonight.
Yeah, what do you mean of all people? Because I think it's pretty obvious what he means is they should have gone to a strip club.
Oh, okay. No, to me, Joey is reacting appropriately. I find it weird.
No.
I still find it weird, but in TV land, I think it's written that Joey is reacting like, oh, that was special. Maybe we should have wallowed and watched a movie instead.
Oh, you are such a woman. No, he means they should have gone to a titty bar.
Yeah, well,
that's 100% what Joey means.
Okay, well, that's even more grotesque. But hear me out. Why, Ross? Why are you sharing any of this at all? And okay, I'm all for men sharing. It's good that this was an example of men sharing in general, because previously men don't talk about that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And that comes up in later episodes. So it is good in one way that he's talking about it, but okay, it was your first fucking time and you haven't done it with anyone else. I don't really see what the problem is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe I'm just like showing my middle age here, but I don't really get it. What, do you need to sow your wild oats? I don't...
Yeah.
Does he though?
No.
It's Ross. He loves monogamy.
He loves getting married more than anything.
Yes, exactly. I don't know. Maybe I'm just... I don't know. I just find that whole scene really weird. But I do love Chandler being like, what was it? The moon, the glow, the blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Just talking on quickly set design. How old are those couches in the ER? And this is the like living through COVID in me. Those couches would be infested with germs.
Yeah, couches in a
You are
hospital waiting
given-
room.
you
That's
are
why they
given
have the gross plastic chairs, so they can wipe them down
They wipe
easily.
everything down. The cleaners come through and disinfect everything. Those couches have fabric. They have wood with peeling varnish.
Yep.
And they might be comfy, but you are catching all sorts of things.
Oh yeah, it's nasty shit.
I don't know. It's the person who lived through COVID in me that watched that scene and I was like, oh, don't touch anything.
Yep.
Did you notice that?
I find it weird even that the ER has couches.
Yes.
And maybe that's just me, but ERs here have those awful little plastic chairs.
Yes.
I've never been in one with couches. That's like coffee shop level. But it's this. I always find it weird. Can you tell me if this is a true thing? In women's toilets, are there sometimes couches?
Very rarely.
That's crazy to me. You know how many times I've seen a couch at a men's toilet?
Never.
0.
Yeah. Look, if you go somewhere fancy,
Yeah.
sometimes, and I'm talking rarely, like there will be a couch where you can sit and you can wait for your friend who's pampering herself. Like it can it can sort of read as more of a social room with toilets added on because you've all made an excuse to go to the bathroom together, and then you all hang out there and talk about, and then you all hang out there and you talk about, you know,
right. So it's
the
like
guys you've left.
So like how men would retire to the smoking room,
Fuck off.
women would be like, I must go to the piss chamber. Come with me. And they just sit around and chat while
you
pissing.
say the bathroom or the powder room, or if you're in Australia, you say toilet or loo. But, you know, you go as a group and, you know, like if you're drunk enough as well, if it's late enough in the night, you meet other women. And
What? What does that mean?
Well, you just like someone will be having a crisis. Someone else will be comforting her. And then you'll all join in and you'll be like, no, you're great.
Wow.
If
Men do not talk in the toilet.
Well, why would you? You've got your penises out. That's so weird. Like, ew. Like, if I had a penis and it was out, don't talk to me. But I've gone to a cubicle. I've done my business. I'm out. I'm freshening up.
Yeah, okay.
And then there's some girl who needs help. You become besties and then you never see each other again. It's fine.
Well, speaking of girls needing help and having too much to drink, then we're back on the balcony. And this is another great scene where they're starting to kind of like get a little bit drunk and catty. Okay, I need to ask you about this. When Monica admits that she made Phoebe eat pate.
That's terrible.
That's terrible, right? Like, that's not funny.
terrible.
That's bad.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it was funny in the 90s because we didn't care about vegetarians and then
Yeah.
desires on things.
But pate of all things, like that's liver.
I literally wrote pate. That is not okay.
Yeah, that's not okay at all.
But then, good on Phoebe. She's like, oh, well, I don't feel bad sleeping with Jason.
Yeah.
And it was like 10 hours after they broke up.
Yeah. But my absolute
Phoebe gets her own in that moment.
My absolute favourite moment of this scene,
cushion.
though. The cushion. Just drunken Rachel when she's sitting so dangerously on the edge of that fire escape.
Yeah.
She leans forward and the cushion just falls. She just stops and looks down at it and just keeps
And then
going.
she keeps going with her life because that is Rachel.
Well, and
then
because
later,
she's so drunk. It's so funny.
Then later the angry neighbour returns it. How many times did we, as the bottom floor neighbours with the bigger balcony, have to return shit to the people upstairs?
Yeah.
And we would just put it at their doorstep like, fuck me.
Yeah.
I live on the ground floor. I don't want to have to walk up these stairs and return your cushions and your shit. Oh, here's another sadly example of fat phobia.
Oh, yeah.
When Rachel's like, she was a
big girl. Big girl.
Yeah, like that makes it okay for Monica to have had a worse experience in high school than her. I don't know.
Yeah.
It really makes me sad that one particular line. I'm just like, shut up.
Yeah.
Like, and Rachel is saying it in a way of like, oh, this is the reason why this happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
she's justifying it.
I kindly stepped in and was her Valentine.
Yeah.
You know, I was a good friend, but it just, the whole thing is yucky.
Yeah. So then we're back at the hospital for the final time. Ross is out. He's got his Hannibal Lecter mask on and Chandler calls him a freak.
No, not the freak. The best line is the ER nurse. That's attractive. She's so fucking funny, that woman. I love her.
She's so great.
Yep.
And then she gets hers because Ross is looking for his puck, which has been taken by a kid.
Yeah. Where is this kid's parents? Finders, keepers, losers, weepers. Why is there always a naughty kid in every 90s movie or TV show?
Yeah.
And there's just like no.
You know what?
Around.
They don't say his name, but I'll bet you $300 in the shooting draft that kid's name is Billy.
Billy,
too.
yes.
The little shits are always called Billy.
Yes, yep. I know. I know. It's okay. It's okay.
Why are there no decent Billies? There are lots of us out there.
We are a rare breed. If our girls acted like that and just someone else's things, finders, keepers, losers, sweepers.
Yeah, I'm on Ross's side.
They wouldn't have a home to come home to.
I'm on Ross's side here. Yeah. That's his puck. I totally get that.
He earned that puck.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But then in the,
that kid is a shit.
Yes, but then in the ensuing battle, the puck flies into the nurse's face and clocks her out, which is...
No. I loved her. I didn't want bad things to happen to her. In my head, her beautiful, like, curly, almost like a fro of hair cushions the blow and she's okay.
Okay.
Because I love that nurse. She's fantastic. She's got great comic timing.
She's one of the best side characters in Friends.
Yeah, it'll be any minute now.
Yeah.
It's just great. I love her.
Yeah.
And I don't want bad things to happen to her. So then we come back to the apartment and everyone's back together again.
Yeah, we get the tag of the episode.
Yeah, they're playing Twister, which...
And Joey's being a creep.
Joey's being a creepy fucker.
Yep.
I mean... Oh, God, I don't want to justify creeps here, but, like, we were all young at one point, and, you know, if you bent over like that playing Twister, one of your guy friends would be like,
I don't want to make things weird here. You say we were all young at one point. If our group of friends were playing Twister tomorrow night, there would be someone leering at a butt.
You missed. We're all... Yes, someone would be leering at a butt, and we'd be telling them to fuck right off.
Yeah, they wouldn't stop leering.
I don't know. I think they would. All the wives would gang up on them. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of reminiscent of when you're hanging out and you're happy. I don't want to say happy to be objectified because that's disgusting, but there's something about hanging out with people you feel safe with in your 20s.
Yeah.
Where you're just like, I know, I got in a weird position there playing. I don't know. It's
And then Rachel gets the phone call from American Express, who are calling to check on her because the unusual activity on her card is that it hasn't been used.
Yeah.
And we get,
which I love.
We get the famous line, which you and I have mocked for a long time.
No.
Have you written the same note? Yes, thank you. I've written the same thing. When she says, I have magic beans, I actually don't hate it. It's not that bad.
She's laughing at her own in-joke.
It's afterwards when she hangs up the phone and she goes, I'm fine. That's the cheesy bit.
I know. We always quote to each other, I've got magic beans. But she delivers it in a way that
it's actually, I didn't hate it.
She knows the person at the other end of the line has no fucking clue what she's talking about.
Yeah.
It's hanging up and looking at the group sentimentally and like holding the phone to her heart and being like, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Friends... Writers of Friends, we didn't need that.
Well,
Audiences are smart enough.
Here's my biggest problem with
dumb,
it. Here's my biggest problem with it is that it is the final line of the episode. There's no funny like this is the tag. This is supposed to leave you with that good, funny Friends feeling, and instead they've tried to leave you with an emotional beat, which I don't think lands.
It's not that kind of show.
I need a joke at the end.
Yeah.
I need a button on this scene, and there isn't one.
It's not This Is Us. It's Friends. Like, know your place. Yeah. It's fine.
Yep. So there you go. That's us done. That is the one with George Stephanopoulos.
Yep.
So how are you scoring this episode? I love this one. I'm a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, this one's a 7 out of 10 for me.
7? This is my favourite of the ones we've watched so far.
Look, maybe an 8. I don't know. I really, truly love the girls and the boys, but there are some to come which do the same sort of thing, a night with the girls and the boys that I like better.
Yeah, I think I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah.
One of my favourites is coming up as well.
Yeah.
Are you prepared, though, for a lightning round?
I am so good at lightning rounds. I
All
can't
right.
believe I'm behind you.
You are behind.
Also, sorry, just quickly, I looked up George Stephanopoulos. I don't get it. I don't really see it. Maybe I needed to be a young adult in the 90s to see it.
That was probably it.
Because whenever they talk about someone being a hunk in this show, I'm like, him?
Yeah.
It's like Arrested Development. Huh?
Yeah. All right. Are you ready for your 1-point question?
Oh, mine are so easy again for
All
you.
right.
This is bullshit.
Well, this is definitely... You're going to get this one for sure. Which character was married to a Canadian ice dancer named Duncan?
Oh, Phoebe.
There you go.
Your 1-point question. What is Phoebe's younger half-brother's name? Mate.
Hang on.
Holy shit!
Because all I can think of is Giovanni Ribisi, and obviously that's not his
name?
character's name.
What?
Hang on. Frank Jr.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Is it Frank Jr. or is it Frank... Yes, because he names the kid Frank Senior Jr. or something like that. Yeah. All right. Your 2-point question. Who proposes to Phoebe in Barbados?
Well, 2 people. Yeah, David and
Mike.
Paul Rudd. hang on. He's Paul Rudd.
I need the character name.
I know.
The card says Moops.
Mike.
Okay. All right. There you go.
Thank you.
You got your 2 points.
I just refer to him as Paul Rudd at all times, no matter what he's in, including Clueless, his best role. All right. Would you like your 2-point question?
Yes, I would.
Where were Ross and Emily supposed to go on their honeymoon?
Greece.
Specifically.
Oh, God. Really?
Yeah, it's written on the answer.
Oh, fuck. I know it's Greece, and I know that... why you cry?
Why you cry? Mrs. Geller, why you cry?
I know this isn't the answer. I'm going to say Mykonos, just because it's Greece.
We are even now. It's Athens.
Athens?
You complete heathen.
Wouldn't have guessed that.
Mate.
Yeah. All right, well, there you go. That's depressing. Now we're even in the lightning rounds.
Why you cry?
Next week, we'll be back with the one with the East German laundry detergent. You ready for that one, Noosk?
I don't even have a plot.